All right, welcome back to another video. So basically in this video, I'm going to break down a step-by-step blueprint on how you can start generating some passive income, not theory, not fluff, an actual system that you can actually follow. Whether you're starting with zero experience or you've been trying to figure this out for a while, but I'm going to simplify everything and show you exactly how to set it up, scale it, and make it work for you. The goal here is simple: build income streams that make money even when you're not even working. Okay. So if you're ready to level up, create freedom, and start earning smarter, let's actually get into it. All right. So first things first, let me give you guys a trade recap for this week. So basically on my personal live account on NinjaTrader, this is my personal live account. I'm up $45,000 so far on my main account. Then on my funded account, as you can see, I got two funded accounts. I'm up about 1.8K in balance. So far, $812 for this month. All three winning trading days for this week, up $733 so far. I was actually up about over $2,000, but I did took out a payout of $350. And then if you go to my other funded account, the first 2 days was actually rough, but my next 2 days was fine. So I still ended the week in green with about $402. And then on my trading combine, I'm up almost $800 for this week. My other trading combine, I actually did really good on the trade fifth, so I'm up basically $800 on this one too. And this is actually my top step, my funded account. So far this week has been pretty good. I can't complain. So basically, let me give you step number one. Step number one is you make an account on TradingView.com. Okay. So go to TradingView.com, you make an account. You can use the free version if you want to, but I highly recommend getting at least the essential plan, which does cost about $14.95 per month. If you're very serious about trading, I'm actually personally using the premium plan because of the deep back testing feature. But if you're really serious about trading, I would highly recommend getting a paid plan. And you can actually look at what each plan actually offers and just go from there. But this is where you're going to be doing all of your analysis. So that's basically step number one. And step number two is you want to get these two indicators. So let me actually clear the chart. So you want to be getting this Swift Algo X indicator. The link will be in my description for this one. And same thing, I personally trade M and Q or NQ, but let's do M and Q for example. So this is the only thing I'm trading. I usually go for the default one, M and Q, the generic one. You select that on the chart. I only trade on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, indicator sensitivity, I only do 5 minutes on this one. Risk to reward, I keep this as a 1:1. Max stop loss size percentage, I change this to a 0.2%, and I do enable this. EMA period, I keep this check. I keep it by default 300, and I keep the calculate bars to 5,000. Okay. And then I look at the trend dashboard. It shows my multiplier is 9. So the backtest setting shows a 100%. So it's basically telling me I have to change the algorithm multiplier from a 2 to a 9. Because right now my current settings with these two is at 47%. Okay. So it's telling me I have to change this to a 9. And it's telling me I have to change the algorithm period from a 14 to a 2. Because the current setting has to match the backtest setting, so they're both at 100%, okay? And that's all I do for the imports for style tab. This is just on personal preference. But this is basically what the chart actually looks like. So it gives you these, sell indicators, TP and stuff like that. So this is on personal preference, okay? I'm gonna take these buy and sell signal labels off. I'll tell you why later. Long entry, I take this off. Short entry, take that off. I like to make this third level thickness. This one third level thickness as well. And then I like to take this one off as well. And then I like to make this 50% shaded. And then I don't need this extra data, so I'm gonna uncheck this as well. I just want the name of the indicator. Visibility, you leave that as is, and that's really all I do, okay? So it should look something like this. Okay, stripped AlgoX link is in my description. And then I also use the, go to invite only scripts. I also use the Conflux advanced version. The link will also be in my description for this one as well. And then confluence requirement, I keep this as single. Long signals, long signal 1, I change this to buy signal only. Make sure this is check. Short signal 1, I change this to sell signal only. Make sure this is check. Base quantity, you have to change this because this is the number of contracts. Martingale does not have to be enabled for this, okay? This is automatic. So if you're trading an eval account, I do 10 contracts, okay? If you're trading on a funded account, I do 4 contracts. And then after that, I scale up as I'm building my balance. So for this example, let's just go for 10 contracts. I keep everything by default. Use trading windows, I keep this on check because I wanted to trade all sessions. I keep everything as is. Exit method, I change this to indicator exit. Long take profit indicator, I change this to take profit. Long stop loss indicator, I change this to stop loss. And then short take profit indicator, I change this to take profit. This one, I change this to stop loss. And that's basically all I do for this one, okay? All I do for inputs, properties, default order size, this does not really make a difference. But this is where you put your contracts technically. So let's say 10 contracts, but like I said, it doesn't matter because the Conflux advanced version, it does go off based on this only, okay? And then I like to check all 3 of them. Use bar magnifier is only available on the premium plan. Okay, it makes the strategy report more accurate. It's one of the reasons why I'm actually on the premium plan. Because it actually microscopes, or it basically looks into the candles on the lower time frames more accurately with the open, high, low, close, okay? But if you're on the essential plan, on bar close has to be actually check. I leave everything by default. Initial capital, it does not matter what this is. This does not take into leverage or anything like that. So leave initial capital by default. Style tab, I don't need this extra data because that's too long. I'm gonna uncheck that. Visibility, I leave it as is. I'm gonna hit save. So that's why I don't take these buy or sell labels of the stripped AlgoX because of these strategy signals. That's too redundant. So short just obviously means sell, and then take profit. That's all I need for this one, okay? And if you look at the strategy report, as you can see, P&L 265, 3 trades. And you can always go back last 30 days just to see how it actually performs. So let's see. And you won't be able to actually go back last 30 days unless if you're actually on the premium plan, because like I said, premium plan gives you the back testing. So you can always adjust the dates. So give it a few seconds for it to load. And I do change this once per day. Okay, so I live in California, so the market closed between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. PST because it's only 23 hours, so it does close at 2 and it opens back up at 3 p.m. right? So I usually change. I always update my settings once per day, usually before the Asia session if there's a change in the settings, okay? If there's no change in the settings, then I'll leave it as is. So let's say if it stays 100%, I leave as 100%. But let's say at 6 or 7 p.m., obviously after it takes a loss, your win rate does actually drop down. Like from 100%, it may drop down to like, I don't know, 75 or 80%. And that's basically, let's say at 7, 8 p.m. I did not change it at Asia session open yet because nothing changed, but it took a loss at 7 p.m. So therefore, I will actually update it since I have not updated it yet. So if I took a loss, my current setting win rate does drop down, but then the system finds a new settings for me to use, which gives me 100%. So I will change it. Since I did not change it at 2 to 3 p.m., I'll change at 7 p.m. after that loss, because that's still once per day. So hopefully that does actually make sense. And then I like to look at the last 30 days. I give it a few seconds to load. I think I'm having some connection problems. And also FYI, also another thing is the max stop loss size percentage filter is 0.2. It does actually lower the stop loss, but it does actually give you less trades. On average, it may take one trade per day. Sometimes it may take either 2 or 3, or some days it may take 0. So last 30 days it didn't really do well. But you can also check. Sometimes it does not. Sometimes 92 is not the only one that gives 100%. Sometimes I think I also saw 5 and 13 also at 100% too, just to give an example. So yeah, see 5 and 13 also gives 100%. So see when I change the multiplier to 5 and pair it to 13, this automatically changes. So this also gave 100% as well. And then I, always go back last 30 days. It just gives myself extra confidence in Confluence. So give a few seconds to load. So see, this actually did a lot better than the other one. So profit factor 6%, total P&L, so you can play with it. But if you do change this, for example, like to a 4, this does actually go back to a 9 and 2, just letting you know. So, but 9 and 2 is not the only one that gives 100%. You can play with it and see if you can find another settings that may have a better result in the strategy report that also gives a 100%. But you just have to be patient with the settings. But both links will be in my description for that. And then after that, then you want to actually make the strategy bot. So you can use cross trade. There's also pick my trade. You can also use. I personally use TradersPost. So make an account. They do offer a 7-day free trial. You can use my discount code Legacy2026. The link will also be in my description, so you do get a discount on that. So after you make an account, you go to strategies. You just make a new strategy. Just hit this one. Name it whatever you want. I'll just name it as testing, just for an example. But be as specific as possible. Description, no need. It says style system. I keep this by default systematic. You can choose stocks, options, futures, crypto. Obviously I trade futures, so I select that. Make sure that it's checked by default. That's all I do. Then you hit subscribe. And then you select whichever account. So let's just do, my fund account. So let's just hit that, hit create. Then after that, you're gonna select auto submit. Because when you do manual submit, it actually sends you a notification to your phone letting you know that there's an order. You have to approve it for it to execute. So you have to do auto submit so it does it automatically for you. And then this should say futures, okay. Allow sides. You want to select this so it can take either buy or sell. So make sure you select both sides. Entry order type, make sure you select market order. Exit order type, make sure you select market order. Then that's all you have to do. Then you hit enable. So it should say futures enable auto submit. And then you select this webhook. And then TradingView strategy. You want to copy this. Go to your conflux, click on these three dots. Click add alert, go to your message tab. You want to delete all of this and then paste your JSON message. Okay, name it whatever you want. It's personal preference, but you want to be as specific as possible so you don't get confused. So I'm just gonna name it testing for this example. That's all you have to do. Then hit apply, then go to your notifications. Go back to TradersPost. You want to copy this and then delete this and then paste. And then I check this and this and this because I want to be notified. Then hit apply. Then after that, you'll hit create. And it'll be listed right there. See, activating, it's now active. So that's how you actually make the alert. The alert is on conflux. So how this works is once, for example, once a sell order is triggered, it's going to actually it's going to hit this webhook URL, which is your TradersPost account. Okay. Every strategy has their own webhook URL. So it's going to hit basically this strategy right there, okay? Then TradersPost acts like the middleman. They're going to read your JSON message. Then after that, they're going to tell your prop firm what to do next, basically to execute that order. That's how automation works. I personally use TradersPost. You can use whatever you want. I know this cross trade, pick my trade. I think Quantum League also has one. So, and this does run on cloud server, which means you do not need to have your TradingView or your laptop on. You can turn everything off. It runs all in the background. So, step number 1, TradingView. Then step number 2, get Swift Algo X conflux. Step number 3, register a TradersPost account. And actually, you probably want to actually register for a top step account first. So basically, once you make TradersPost, if you go to brokers, give it a few seconds. Sorry guys, connection is kind of slow. And then you go to connect to brokers. You can select Project X. I personally just select Top Step. It's just the same thing. Oops, I actually have too many accounts open. Shoot. But anyways, yeah, you go to connect to brokers. It's going to ask for your username as well as your API number. Okay, it's pretty easy to connect to a broker. You probably want to do that first. And also another thing is once I change something in the settings, so let's say I change this to, you know, a 5 and this, I change this to a 13, for example. So I changed something in the settings. So what do I have to do? I have to delete this alert. I have to delete the entire alert, and then I have to actually go back and remake the alert again. And then I have to actually go back to my subscription, then hit edit, and then I can just copy and paste the JSON message again, and then just say testing. hit apply. Then this, I have to delete this repurk and copy and paste a new one. And then that's all I have to do. See, simple as that. Give a few seconds to load there. My connection is slow. Oh well. So make sure you do double and triple check the settings. Because if you do change something in the settings, you have to delete the alert and remake the alert all over again. Or the settings will not take effect. And make sure you do connect to a broker first. Because once you make the strategy and subscription, it's gonna actually have you connect to a broker. And how can you connect to a broker if you don't have one connected yet? So yeah, just show you real quick. So you go to topstepx.com/trade. You go to your settings tab, you go to API, then where it says link, you just click on this. It actually navigates you to your Project X official website. You will register an account. It is $30 per month in subscription, but if you use the coupon code TOPSTEP, you do get 50% off. So you'll be paying $14.50 per month for that. And after that, it will automatically link to your TopStep account, and then it will show your API key. You'll select show API key, then you select copy, and then that's how that's actually how you'll do. And then after that, let's see, let me just deactivate one. Let me just deactivate one of my evals. Oh yeah, also another thing is, if you go to actually, for example, like XFA, for the one my eval, it actually will say like 2 subscriptions, and it will say enable. So make sure it is actually enabled, obviously. So if you go to brokers, let's see, connect to brokers, TopStep, then just select this one, then just hit I agree. Then it's going to type your username. If you do not know your username, go to topstep.com, your dashboard, sign in, go to profile, and it will actually show your username right there. Just copy and paste it. And then I already show you how you get your API key, so that shouldn't be a problem there. Then after that, you just connect. For TradeView, it's really simple. TradeView, so you just select TradeView, select that again, then hit I agree, and then the only thing I have to do is just type your username and password, your login info for your TradeView account. After that, it automatically connects. It's really that easy. It's really that simple. But this video is mainly trying to do like an all-in-one video, like a step-by-step guide, like a blueprint, especially for the new viewers that has not watched my other videos. My returning subscribers, you probably already know all this by now. This video is mainly meant for the new people who has not watched my video yet. You may feel overwhelmed of too many videos to watch. So I'm trying to condense all this down into one video for them to watch, just to give them a basic foundation of this. So right now I'm having some connection problems with TradeView, but that's, you just basically log in. It's really not that difficult. Then if you go to notifications, it should say completed. If it says completed, that means there was no problems with the execution. It may say failed or rejected if there's an issue, but as long as it says completed, that means there was no issue with the execution. And they also have an online chat if you do have any questions for them. So that's that. So straight Algo Complex, it's the only thing I'm actually using. If you're trading on MetaTrader 4 or 5, you can use Pine Connector on .com for that. I prefer using algo.trade. It uses MT5. It's a lot cheaper. And if your broker does not use MetaTrader, but let's say they use another trading platform such as CTrader, they do offer other platforms as well, and they also offer VPS, which I do highly recommend getting a VPS if you do trade forex or gold, for example. But this is just for, just a futures. For those people who trade futures, this is just a basic futures tutorial. I do have other videos on Pine Connection and Algo. Just please check those out on my YouTube channel. If you do actually trade those, then I highly recommend watching those videos for Pine Connector and Algo. Those videos is in my YouTube channel. Hopefully this video does actually help a lot. If you learned something from this video, please drop a like, leave a comment, and please subscribe. I do weekly uploads, and as well as I'll be launching a new clothing brand called Legacy Apparel coming soon, probably the next couple of weeks, or maybe after a week or two, we'll see. But other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next video.